In this video, I'm going to give you a walkthrough of Copilot Studio authoring interface. Now, Copilot Studio, as we all know, it provides an end-to-end experience for provisioning, managing, and publishing copilots. Now, copilots are basically bots. So you build a bot depending on your organizational requirement. Now, if Microsoft 365 Copilot does not serve your purpose, then you make a choice of building a bot for your organization. Now, this bot can be either consumed internally by your staff, or it can be surfaced out to your vendors, partners, distributors, channel collaborators, etc. Now, Copilot Studio provides the flexibility to publish copilots to channel of your choice. So you can publish your copilot to Teams, to Slack, to ServiceNow, to Dynamics 365 customer service, to Power Pages, to Power Apps, and there are many other channels which are currently available within, like out of the box. Copilot Studio has a modern look and feel compared to its predecessor, Power Virtual Agent. So earlier there was something called as Power Virtual Agent, whereby the makers were able to build bots. Now the concept is completely changed now with Copilot Studio. Again, it's the same authoring interface, but with more added feature set powered by artificial intelligence. So, in order to start with the Copilot building process, you need to first have a proper license. You need to have a Microsoft 365 tenant. And then once you are done with it, you can navigate to copilotstudio.microsoft.com URL and start authoring your copilots or bot. Now, copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com, again, with this URL, you will be able to view the functionality which is currently in preview mode, which will give you a first hand view of the new features provided by Microsoft development team. Now, this preview feature are not meant for production use. So if you want to try out the feature, then this is a right platform, copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com, to explore various features so that once it is generally available, then you can utilize those features well before and others can access. This is how the home screen looks like. So home screen is basically on the left hand side, you will see home, create button, copilots, library, and basically it gives you a prompt. Basically it allows you to build a copilot by using a copilot. So you can describe your copilot to create it. So if you want to build something related to help desk or expense tracking or HR and benefit, or maybe anything else, you can start typing in the prompt over here. Give this prompt to the copilot, and then copilot will start provisioning the copilot depending on your prompt. Now again, you can tweak it further, but just to start with, if you are a new starter, then it's always wise to start with a template. Now there are three or four, I believe there are almost six templates which are currently available out of the box, and there are six more coming up. So you can make use of this templates to get a jump start in building the bots or copilot. Now in templates, you can, if you see on the top, you can provision a new copilot, or you can build a copilot action. Now build a copilot action if you want to customize the Microsoft Copilot within your organization. So Microsoft Copilot, again, is a solution provided by Microsoft. It is kind of a generative AI within your organization, but if you want to extend it beyond the capability provided by Microsoft, then you can make use of my new Microsoft Copilot action and start extending it for your specific need. As you see over here in the template section, there are safe travels, website Q&A, store operations, sustainability insight, and then there are status tracker, kudos, jobcraft, which are coming soon. Creating Copilot. Now here on the left hand side, if I click on Copilots, I'll be able to see all the Copilots created so far within this interface. I can either create a new Copilot, or maybe I can start importing the Copilot and start extending those Copilot from here. Library, on the left hand side, if you click on library, here you will see all the connectors and the prompts available for your specific environment. Now there are various third party connectors. Basically it's a Power Platform connector like GitHub Power Platform connectors, Zoho, Zepto Mail, Plum Sale, Help Desk, Mailchimp Power Platform connectors, Salesforce Power Platform connectors. So there are endless Power Platform connectors over here which you can utilize to build Copilot of your own. Okay, so if you have a requirement that you want to pull something from ServiceNow or Salesforce, you can do that by leveraging the libraries. Now, if you see this three dots over here on the left hand side, here you can navigate to various other Power Platform related solution or services like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Pages, or maybe you can navigate to the Power Platform Admin Center as well. Now, bottom part of the screen, you will see AI integration. So you can connect to use Azure Cognitive Services, Azure OpenAI, and Copilot SDK extension within your Copilot. Now there is a setting. Currently, the setting has dark mode configuration. So if you want to use dark mode for building your Copilot, then you can utilize those. However, I tried using this dark mode, but there are some functionality or like that there are some glitches currently available within this dark mode feature set. So you may not be able to use some Office 365 themes within the dark mode. So that's a limitation basically. There is another option which says build and iterate on your topics by describing what you want on. So again, this is making use of generative AI. It is making use of those models which comes available out of the box, provided you have a right set of licenses, and it makes use of Azure OpenAI. Now, session details. So if you navigate to the session settings, you will see a lot of IDs. Now these IDs will help you during the development time. So there are various IDs. I'll be covering one video whereby I'll be talking about various IDs available for your Copilot Studio. So like session ID, tenant ID, object ID, user agent, environment ID, org ID, and so on and so forth. In the context menu of that specific Copilot, you can either open the Copilot, you can navigate to the demo website, you can export the Copilot, you can delete the Copilot, you can share the Copilot. So there are various actions which you can do on your Copilot. Now for this Copilot instance, so if you have already provisioned a Copilot, like as you see over here, this is a sample Copilot which I provisioned. You can change the icon, you can provide description, you can provide instructions, you can even publish the Copilot, and depending on the settings, you can decide where you want the Copilot to be published or what integration feature you want to utilize. Now from a Copilot settings perspective, here you can connect to various AI integration tools, Azure Cognitive Service for language, AI models, Copilot SDK. You can turn on the generative AI. You can turn on the settings for sharing, authentication, web channel security. You can configure entities, you can configure skill, and you can also configure natural language understanding. Copilot comes in various languages, so there's quite set of languages available out of the box. However, in the new feature, you will see a lot of desired languages requested by the community. Now let's jump into the demo. So let me show you how the Copilot Studio looks like. So if I type in copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com, I'll be landing in this particular screen. Now here I can type in what kind of Copilot I want. I can say I want a Copilot for customer service within hospitality industry, and then it will start provisioning this particular uh, request and try providing us some responses, and based on that I can start configuring the Copilot. Okay, now I'll just in the interest of time, I'll just try to skip this, so I'll not go ahead and do that because I have a separate demo for that. So let me cancel this Copilot creation. I'll just say leave. Now here on the left hand side, you will see home create. So if I click on create, then I can create a new Copilot. So again, this will give you that same interface of creation of Copilot using prompts, or you can skip to configure and then you can start provisioning your Copilot by providing descriptions, instructions, and adding a knowledge source. Okay, so I'll just cancel this Copilot creation. Then on the left hand side, you will see Copilots. Now I can have a new Copilot from here. I can provision a new Copilot from here, or maybe I can click on Import Copilot. Now, the moment to do an Import Copilot, again, this uses the same Power Platform concepts or Power App solution to export and import your Copilot between different environments. Now you can search for Copilot. Now I have limited set of Copilot, so it is quite limited. So I need not even search. I can just see it from the glance. Also, against a specific Copilot. I can open a Copilot. I can go to the demo website where the Copilot I can test. I can export the Copilot. Again, this will go back into the solution mode. I can delete the Copilot, and I can even share the Copilot with my internal user or external users as well. Okay. From a library perspective, I can see the library over here. So let this library load. The library is all about connectors. It's all about prompts. So I can add an item. So I can, which Copilot would you like to extend? So if I want to extend Copilot for Microsoft 365, Copilot for sales, and based on that, it will start giving me various options, like what kind of actions I want, like whether I want a connector, whether I want a prompt, whether I want something conversational, or whether I want a Power Automate flow. Okay. So that's about the library part. And then I can, I've already created a couple of prompts over here. So if I filter by prompt, I'll be able to see the prompts. If I filter by connector, I'll be able to see the connector. Now these are all things we are going to see in the upcoming videos. From here, three dots, you can navigate to various Power Platform services. You can view various AI integration by going to Azure Cognitive Service, utilizing Azure OpenAI or Copilot SDK. Now, this is about the Copilot Studio interface. Okay, so if I click on setting over here, then in general settings, I can set the dark mode on or off. So if I turn on the dark mode, basically it will start reloading the application, and then it will put entire application in the dark mode. So as you see over here, it is refreshing the screen, and I should be able to see the application in a dark mode. So this is how it will look like. Now, if I click on setting clock icon over here and I click on session details, then I will be able to see various information like the session ID, tenant ID, object ID, Copilot Studio details, like the host name, platform version, environment ID. And from a Power Platform environment details perspective, I can see the various clusters, environment, category, geo name, unique name, instance URL, org ID, and I can utilize this. So this will be helpful when you are doing some sort of a development within Copilot. This will really come handy. Okay, I'll just close this. Now, this is all about outside Copilot. Now, you're not in the context of any Copilot. Now, let's assume if you are in the context of any Copilot. So I've created this Copilot called as Girish Expense Claim Assistant. So if I go inside this Copilot, so now I'm under this context of this Copilot. Now, within that, you will find various settings available. Now, if you click on settings over here, if I click on settings, I can configure various Copilot details, like I can change the name, I can change the icon, I can configure whether I want this Copilot to be optimized for voice. I can even connect it to an application inside resource. So I'll be covering this in one of the video whereby I'll show you how to connect your Copilot to an application inside and start logging various activities, logging sensitive activity properties, logging the node actions. And here also you will see some sort of IDs like environment ID, schema ID, Copilot app ID, and tenant ID. So this is also useful information for the developers. AI integration tool. So this is all about utilizing various artificial intelligence related services from Azure. So Azure Cognitive Service, Copilot SDK, AI models for Azure OpenAI, and you will see a lot of things coming over here as well. Generative AI. So earlier, when we used to build Copilot, we used to build using topics. We used to formalize the topic, create a topic, and then utilize those topic. But with the help of generative AI, you need not even do those things. If you are allowing a large language model to be utilized as a part of your Copilot, then the system will automatically decipher the topic. So it allows your Copilot to use Gen AI, generative AI, to identify the most appropriate combinations of actions and topic to respond to a user. It need not be correct, but it does a pretty good job. I have tested it and it really works very fine. Again, you can configure the content moderation depending on setting up how you want the Copilot to set the responses. Now, there can be a precise response or there can be a creative response. And again, what in the concept of AI we call it as temperature. So it is as good as setting up the temperature. So if you want Copilot to generate fewer answers but responses should be more relevant, then use high setting. If you want the most answers but responses can have inaccuracies, then you can set it low. Okay. Now, from a security perspective, you can set the security, additional security measures for your Copilot with regards to sharing, authentication, web channel security. So you can share this Copilot with your internal staff. You can authenticate during the chat, okay, so that the person, the customer service agent, knows who you're chatting with within your organization, who has some issue or query or a request. And then similarly you can have entities and skills. Now again, this is like concept. You can this entity is completely different from the entity or table provided by database. It is a concept basically to have those pre-built uh, entities within the system, so that appropriate data can be extracted from the text requested by the user. Similarly, there is something called as skills. Now you can integrate uh, Azure system or Azure bot system or a bot composer application basically, and utilize those skills. This is basically extending your Copilot's conversational capability. Languages, you can see there are current. It is currently set to primary language, but you can add additional languages as well. Now, if you see over here, there are various set of languages which are currently available, but then this list is going to increase in the near future. Language understanding Lewis. Earlier, it used to have those Lewis capability language understanding system. Now you can use Azure Cognitive Service for language for your bots as well, so that will give you a more precise response and understand various capability from a natural language perspective. So this is all about setting for a Copilot instance. But apart from that, within a Copilot, what you can do, you can set the name, description, provide an instruction. Basically, it's like kind of a system topic by giving a context to the Copilot, like user friendly, professional tool, not use any public accessible website to get this information. So this is basically you're getting giving an instruction to your Copilot and setting up those system level context so that Copilot behaves accordingly. You can also add knowledge. You can add Microsoft Copilot website, or maybe you can add any website, any custom website, or you can even upload a document as well. Now, remember, when you upload a document, it takes some time to process the document to generate those knowledge base within the Copilot. And also in the bottom, if you see over here, you can add various topics. Okay, topics and actions, and publish status. It will display those. Now this same interface you will find on the top. So here you will see knowledge, here you can see topics, and on the top you can see actions as well. So I'm going to cover all these things in my future videos. I'll take one topic into consideration and then start exploring those feature set. Analytics, it will provide you a nice Power BI report, which is all out of the box. It is not comprehensive, but then it does what it's supposed to do. You can view engagement over time, you can view sessions over time, you can see the resolution rate drivers, escalation rate drivers, and based on that, you can tweak your Copilot based on the responses you received from the Copilot. So customer satisfaction can be tracked. You can track the session. So if you want to download what was all happened during the chat conversation, you can find all those information for download here as well. And from a billing perspective, you will be able to see how the Copilot is utilized. From a channel perspective, here you can publish your Copilot to various channels. So there are like a lot of things happening over here. You have one box called as channel and another box called as customer engagement hub. Now, from a channel perspective, you can publish it to Teams, you can publish it to demo website, custom website, then mobile app. You can publish it to Slack, Skype, Facebook, and various other third-party providers like Telegram, Twilio, GroupMe, Line. And from a complete system perspective, you can publish it to Dynamics 365 customer service or Salesforce or ServiceNow. And then there are, if all these things does not serve your purpose, then you have something called as a custom engagement hub, where you can define your own system and then try to publish those particular bot to the customer engagement hub. So that's it, folks. This is all about a general walkthrough of Copilot Studio. Now in the upcoming videos, I'll try to pick up one by one topic and start giving you a brief overview about how to utilize those while building a Copilot for Microsoft tenant, and also exploring various functionality within Copilot Studio. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching.